Hey guys, what's up? Good morning if you're watching this in the morning, if anyone's watching it. Anyways, regardless. So sometimes I like to like number my anger on a 1 to 10 scale. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes 8, but right now it's about probably 9, 10. Because sometimes when I get home, it's late. So I like to watch some news in the morning. And I was watching Piers Morgan show, and oh, it's a damn shame. Anyways, see, let me start off by saying this. The problem is with left versus right. It's kind of like driving a car. You drive a car, you want to get to your destination. One group of people are telling you to go left. Another group is telling you to go right. And before you know, you have people going all over the damn place, and you don't get to where you need to be. That was bad enough, but here's the problem. Now on the right side, we have right 1.0, right 2.0. So now you're going right like you're supposed to, but now that's veering off into a labyrinth because we're not on the same page on anything. And you'll see what I'm talking about in this Piers Morgan episode. They have Dave Smith. You know, Dave Smith is like the Jewish guy he's really conservative, but he's by the book. He's a solid guy. And then there's Officer Tatum. I don't know what to think of him because he's like so pro one side. Like, for example, they argue about the whole Israel thing, and he's so pro that it's just hard to call yourself. In my mind, how are you going to be a Christian and not speak up when somebody's getting killed? America is supposed to be what everyone loves. America, why? Because it's military, it's economy, but also because people are supposed to be good here. Anyways, you'll see what I'm talking about, and right now you'll see Dennis Quaid. He's a solid dude too. So we'll continue. Let me just get this going so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Kennedy was shot. You had Martin Luther King shot. Robert Kennedy was shot. Those were 2 months apart. We had Kent State. We had Woodstock, and then we had Altamont, which ended things. There was a lot of people. This country was very divided, and people were at each other's throats. But it
as far as my pissed off meter, he's about to get into it. The left. You've seen the left cheering and celebrating all that bullshit. And sometimes it might come off hard, but it's hard not to. I mean, these people, it's like, pardon if you get offended, but like you're still you. Like you're still hateful. You're still overweight. You're still whatever that bothered you in your life that you knew was wrong with you. Charlie Kirk dying didn't make any of that better. It's not like now all of a sudden their lives are great. It's like, but it's so obvious that what's the real reason they're doing it? I think they hate when there's someone that's prominent that actually does something with their lives. When all you got to do is just complain about some fake bullshit, you're not gonna have a happy life, and you're gonna celebrate someone's dying. Like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, anyways, I'll stop talking. You can see what I'm talking about.
Listening to each other. There was a real debate going on in this country, and but now it's the hate speech, which has gotten way too high, and we have to start reaching out to one another, being tolerant with one another, and do some listening and search our own hearts. I think as individuals, I don't even want to call. Everybody wants to label, but I wouldn't even call these guys leftist or Democrats. I call them ghouls.
I call them pieces of shit, but whatever, same.
And it's it's not a more than a political fight. This is a spiritual fight for the soul of America.
One of the many incredibly awful things that's happened since Charlie Kirk's death is the glee that many people on, I think, predominantly the woke left, and I use that because I think a lot of people on the left are perfectly decent, liberal people who abhor violence and have humanity. So there is a difference, but there seems to be a strain of this woke left who've lost all sense of humanity, and they gleefully post videos. And these are professors on college campuses. These are doctors, nurses, teachers. These are people in real positions of authority, some of them making decisions about saving people's lives. And yet they want to be seen publicly, gleefully celebrating, joyously, the murder of a 31-year-old man who went out of his way to debate with anybody about anything. What does that say about where we are in modern life?
That's the most perplexing thing. That's the thing that caused me the most heartache, to see people posting, and they're literally dancing, dancing on Charlie's grave, basically.
They didn't show the video, but it's I think it's with that black kid. He's at the memorial of Charlie Kirk. He goes up there and he pretends to get hit in the neck with a bullet and falls over. He ended up it was one of a Texas university. He did get expelled, but yeah, he looks stupid anyways. Loser.
Just so happy that someone's been killed who they didn't even understand. I think Dave Chappelle actually put it really well. I saw a clip on him when he was doing a show someplace, that greatness, these people, they don't know what greatness looks like. And the thing about Charlie is that I think what made so many of these people angry is that Charlie would challenge them. And it was about challenging themselves. In the debates that I've seen, they really can't support the argument. And that's really what made them angry.
You challenging them. That's the thing. When you're not about anything, you don't really have you just pick like hate or just being like vicious. You don't have an argument. So when he goes to these college campuses and they just talk shit or celebrate his death because he was actually doing what he believed what he was saying. And when you're not about anything, what are you gonna say to someone like Charlie? So you just go to name calling and celebrating his death and all that, and it just shows how not smart they are.
Everybody wants to label, but I wouldn't even call these guys leftist or Democrats. I call them ghouls. And
about where we are in modern life.
That's the most perplexing thing. That's the thing that caused me the most heartache, to see.
Which Charlie went to, and he debated with this guy in May. He stood opposite him and debated with him. And that guy, that incoming president, was straight out of the traps when he heard that Charlie had been murdered, saying LOL. He found it hilarious and let's effing go. That was his reaction. And this is the guy who's going to be president. Well, I hope he won't be. Not because I believe in cancel culture, but because... And what I liked about it was he would do it with respect. He'd be polite to them. He'd be civil to them. He would say, prove me wrong. Come on, come down. I'm a broad, open...
Prove me wrong.
I'm a broad, open church, literally, right? I'm my views. I'm a Christian conservative, right-wing guy. Okay, these are my views about all these issues. Come down and engage with me and prove me wrong. And if you can, great. But we've got to the stage now where the incoming president of the Oxford Union Debating Society in Oxford in the UK, probably the most famous, certainly the oldest debating society in the world. A place where you would imagine...
Which Charlie went to, right?
Which Charlie went to, and he debated with this guy in May. He stood opposite him and debated with him. And that guy, that incoming president, was straight out of the traps when he heard that Charlie had been murdered, saying LOL. He found it hilarious and let's effing go. That was his reaction. And this is the guy who's going to be president. Well, I hope he won't be. Not because I believe in cancel culture, but because I do believe in accountability for things you say. It is completely ridiculous that the president of a debating society would gleefully celebrate the murder of somebody.
When I mentioned my pissed off meter earlier, it was basically because of these people.
And the soulless ghouls of the left were quick to celebrate.
There are a lot of people that are like, no matter
But I
what
want to try to add some more, context to.
side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
That's what I was trying to say. She's not gonna look any different or be any more relevant because Charlie's dead. I mean, so it looks so stupid.
Charlie Kirk just got shot. Well, breaking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fantast's favorite 5 Mile.
Enough, hippie. Is he even talking? What did Charlie do to hurt his life? Looks like he's going horrible. It does because of Charlie.
And sadly, the vile left has not been shy about showcasing their ugliness, their utter callous depravity. This is what leftism does to your mind and soul.
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow. That's good. That's good that people are getting shot.
We're just getting people's opinions. How do you feel about that?
Girl, someone had to do it. And that's how I feel at this point in time. But
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty. I truly do. So you said someone had to do it.
yes. Try not to get all pulled up into that, but he was a misogynist. He was a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs.
Enough of that trash. Let's look at how the media professionals covered this tragic event, this act of domestic terrorism. Here is MSNBC.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. And we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea.
Yeah, fool. Yes. Someone was there, having a great time. Charlie's up there. They're like, yeah. I mean, who would do that? I mean, oh, God. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm good for these reaction videos. Sometimes I can't stay composed.
Yeah, pretty sure we knew immediately it wasn't that. Charlie Kirk supporters don't go around shooting their guns in celebration like they're attending some wedding in Iraq. And of course, MSNBC had to engage in victim blaming by calling Charlie divisive.
Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you.
Let's not forget divisive. I mean, a doctor who said a woman was a woman is considered divisive these days and shit like that. I mean, if that's divisive, then what's not going to be divisive?
Want to use? Why?
Well, he's one of MAGA's most prominent voices online. He hosts a near daily podcast.
But that was just stupid. What I'm about to play you is straight out depraved, disgusting commentary. This is Matthew Dowd again on MSNBC, not long after Charlie was shot.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have.
Although I'm a Christian and everything, but my family's from Iraq, so we know what hate speech is, and we know, that stuff exists sometimes, But I would never, my family would never want someone to go out and make other people shut up because of something, even if it's wrong. You can't have it both ways. And, I used to love that show, Lefties Losing It, but the thing is, ever since the presidency, Republicans won all that. Now it's kind of like, I feel like some of it's hypocritical. I mean, you got to admit, didn't you think things like, hate speech laws and all that was a thing of the past? I mean, what happened? War. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. And I don't know. It just seems like people's true colors are showing, or they're just not paying attention. The next clip I'm going to show you was about Officer Tatum and Dave Smith. They're, just talking about everything. And I guess Officer Tatum, he says he's a man of God and stuff, but I don't know. I guess the problem is, if you're like a real Christian, you don't want death for anybody. So he's pro-Israel 100%. It's not wrong, I guess. I mean, but he knows kids are dying, and anyone who makes excuses for that, they're not serious people or serious Christians. Like, it just doesn't make sense. The right used to talk a lot of shit about the left, but then they go out there like Officer Tatum, and there's a story he tells, and it's so stupid. But he interviewed Bibi Netanyahu, and like this happens all the time on the right. They don't ask real questions. They're just so flattered to be given the chance to interview someone like that, and they don't do their like he's got 3.6 million followers. Like what you should be thanking your viewers for making you this popular, and that's how you thank them by towing a company's line. It's just ridiculous, and like it's so bad that he tells a story, and in a different video I've seen, he told a story where when he was interviewing Bibi, he's like, "Oh well, we were in Israel, beautiful, all this, we loved our experience," and then Bibi was like, "Yeah, here, basically saying, unlike the Muslims, we respect your guys' religious beliefs to go visit the Wailing Wall and all that," and this is like Tatum actually agreeing with him, saying, yeah, you guys do. Except when he goes, well, when we were there, a child went up to my pasture. We were walking by, and he spit on our pasture. This is him saying good things about Israel, but he's like, and then an adult came and said, no, son, you can't do that. You represent everyone in Israel when you do that. And that was him defending, like saying, yeah, everything's perfect over there. And it's like, it was so stupid. I mean, what are you talking about, man? Kids don't do stuff like that unless they're taught that. Hate is taught. It's not something you're born with. So it's like, if it's like that, obviously things aren't perfect. I'm going to show you a clip in a little bit. It's going to piss you off because it pissed me off a lot. You'll see. It's just these rabbis are walking by, and there's some nuns there. They start cussing at her and spitting on them. Oh my God! Because it reminds me of my mom. It was like, what the? And he can feel comfortable doing an interview and not asking questions. I mean, people with that kind of attitude are not perfect. You got to criticize them. Why are you even alive then? Just what? Is he doing this show for himself or for the people who watch? Still, I don't know. It really was annoying. Anyways, all right. Because I don't want to take too much of your time. I'll just cut to it. Dave Smith right now, he's talking about what Tucker said at the memorial, the funeral, whatever they held. And he's just talking about what Tucker was talking about. And again, Tatum goes on, you'll see, he's saying he don't like Tucker, really. But he's not doing anyone a service except
I don't know. I mean, I see people freaking out about this on social media today, but I think what I took from the message was that, yeah, he's telling the foundational story of Christianity and making the point that obviously Charlie Kirk was, when you're assassinating someone for the crime of trying to have open dialogue and discussion, the idea is you're trying to silence that guy. You're against this discussion taking place. And I think the point Tucker was making was that, if killing someone silenced their ideas, then the last several thousand years of Western Christianity, and making the point I don't know. I mean, I see people freaking out about this on social media today, but I think what I took from the message was that, yeah,
anti-Semitic, very predictable, because that's the stick used to beat anyone that does anything that may possibly be construed that way. What did you make of that part of his speech?
Well, I want to address the anti-Semitic thing. I think that people, and this is my advice to people who are Zionists or people who are Jews, you got to stop with the pushing the anti-Semitic thing every time somebody says something you don't like. You have to stop. I was just talking to a friend yesterday that said he just got bombarded.
That reminds me of a saying I heard. Kind of liked it. It was anti-Semitism used to mean people who hate the Jews, and now it means people that Jews hate. So I thought it was clever. Anyways, here.
with people calling him an anti-Semite because he shared a post of somebody who, may have had a difference of opinion. So that needs to stop, or you're going to lose all credibility and respect from good people that love you. Now, with Tucker Carlson, when I first watched it, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think none of it. I don't really like Tucker very much, but and I do think that he has a lot of negative things to say unjustifiably about Israel. But he's
see what he's doing. He's acting like he's a mother protecting his child. Bibi's not a child. He's certainly not modest or angel-like.
Entitled to his own opinion. But I can see why some people are thinking that he may have been subliminally saying things that were connecting Israel to this whole thing. Now, I don't go down the bandwagon because I can't unequivocally prove that, but I did find it interesting that he had made mention as if Charlie was really an attack or attacking the government, as if Charlie's death
Doesn't it
was
seem like Tatum is like trying his best? It's almost like he's trying to hoping, and Netanyahu's watching him like, thank you, sir, for defending us. Almost like he's doing it just to put on a good show for that, people who are so pro-Israel. And he keeps talking about a disservice. I mean, you have to ask these questions. You have to, Tucker, at least, I'd rather have him ask more questions, too many, than not enough. I just don't know what he's trying to prove.
Directly associated with government officials, when in fact it was really these narcissistic lunatics that are over medicated, that hate Charlie because he's countering the arguments that we see that's pervasive on campus. The government is not taking extreme positions as the kids on campus are taking. They're brainwashed. I've been on campus, I've been to probably 40
This guy talking about brainwashed. I don't understand. That's what I think that's what he is, or he's just putting on a good show because he likes his job. But I don't know. I just, I'm a Christian, of course I'm in, and I just, like, if kids are getting killed, whether, I don't care what the backstory is, if they're getting killed, I'm going to be sad and it's going to bother me. And just because the side that's doing the killing is on your side shouldn't mean a damn difference, a damn thing to him, because, it's our side doing the killing, so it's not okay. I don't give a shit whose side it was. And I'm sure he has kids. I have kids. So for someone to justify anything that make a kid get murdered, I don't know. It's just disgusting. I mean, I don't know. I just care about people more than I do about parties.
universities. The kids on campus don't live in reality. They live in an alternate reality. They don't live like we do. We pay taxes. We have to go to work. We have to be nuanced about arguments and things that we get involved in. They are completely radicalized. So I think that people could take it a certain way, but let me tell you this. It seems as if Charlie was very good friends with Tucker Carlson. And it seems to me that Tucker Carlson can say whatever he want to say, and that may be the way he liked to grieve, but that's the way that he wanted to present himself at a ceremony. And I think people should leave it alone unless you have unequivocal evidence that he was somehow trying to do that.
You're not even asking a question. How do you get evidence without asking questions, oh, Mr. Officer? If that's how he did his job, no wonder he's not doing it anymore. It's like he keeps talking about people getting brainwashed, this and that. It's like, man, I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, I've seen those videos of the kids, and although I'm not a Muslim, but it still somewhat looks like my kids, And it's like they're at the airport. People were cheering these kids on with amputated legs and arms and stuff, and they end up getting turned around because the whole thing with Laura Loomer complained about it, and Trump and Marco Rubio sent them back, and now making them apply for visas. I don't know. I mean, how could you be political when it comes to life? I don't know. It's just really sad.
Because you cheapen the love and respect and dedication that all of the people who spoke at the ceremony had for Charlie Kirk's life. People got to stop trying to go too deep on both sides. Let the man be loved and appreciated by everybody who was on stage, and quit trying to conjure up controversy and conspiracies.
It's never a conspiracy when it's something that he wants to be a conspiracy. I mean, yeah, I did it, which was unlike me. I've never done any AI videos, so like I told you before, if you watched it, but I did a dedication video to him. I don't know, I just did. Anyways, again, Charlie was asking questions, and He said it himself. He was being attacked towards the end. He was being attacked. He was mad because they were questioning his morality because he asked questions. And this guy is going to talk about, like, being quiet and don't say nothing unless it's something he hates or benefits him. And I cannot tolerate that. It's just so annoying. Anyways, look, I could talk for all day. And you know, I'm sorry. This is my third time ever doing this. So, regardless, I know we're all busy, but there's one more clip I was going to show. Okay, so this is the last clip I want to show, and I promise I'll try to get better at this. And I apologize if I come on too strong, but that's just how I am. But this is what I was talking about, that spitting story. Sorry to end it like that, but it's really annoying. But okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Run it up.